Hello, hello, beautiful people, mi gente bella. Welcome to another edition of Santana Says, where we talk about everything from roadblocks to relationships, everything in between, and the overall journey of life. I am excited as always that we have another edition of the show, that we get to have another conversation, but also y'all haven't heard my singular voice in a while. So I'm pumped to have that chance. You know what I'm saying? Y'all connect, like pull up a seat. I hope, like if I'm in your living room with you, on your couch, whatever it is, but that we can have a conversation, just us. But there is a lot that's happening. So I definitely want to, like I said, take advantage of this space and this time, but also just really be able to, as mentioned, connect, but also just kind of like check in on how things have been. And so since I'm here, right, and since we are here together, first and foremost, there's been so many people that have said that January itself felt like a year. To be honest, like instead of a month, it felt like a year. It was so long. I am one of those people. I definitely feel like there was a lot that happened that month. There was a lot that we experienced that month, and it was just a lot we had to endure. That's kind of what I would say as a summary on it. But what I want to remind folks first and foremost is that as a therapist, so I'm like getting really in the nitty gritty, y'all, with it. Like I even had my official little shout out from my agency. They were like, "Hey, welcome one of our newest bilingual therapists." It's hilarious because I technically started with her like a year ago, but hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my little shout out. So I'm officially like the staff member there. But as a therapist, y'all, the weight of the conversations, heavy. You know what I'm saying? And the feelings that people are having, so real, so strong. And it's like, man, it's hard not to, you know what I mean? Like, I already feel some type of way personally, right? Because I care a lot about what is going on and how it affects us and, like how we are navigating this world and these spaces. But it's also like having those conversations with other people and fielding their real fears, and their real concerns is hard. It's definitely a hard thing to do because I don't think they should have to. I think that we should all be able to feel good about where we are and what we're trying to do and not feel like something unexpected is going to happen or that we might not be able to be here later or we feel like we're going to get taken somewhere else. Like, I just don't think those are concerns that people deserve to be having right now. And so knowing that we are living in times like that, especially in 2025, is just, it's been. So just please know that as always, I like to be able to tell you that I see you. If you're someone that is going through any of that, feeling it, right? Or know somebody that is, hey, I am. This is why I think community is so important right now. And here's my thing. I feel like a big conversation, a big piece that I've been trying to make sure that I cultivate more is that there are not incentives, for there to always be positive news. You know what I mean? Like we are in a culture, in a society where like we thrive off of the negative news, And so like it evokes more of a response, right? So like when we hear about the negative stories, the things that are happening, that's what a lot of news outlets revolve around. It's what they get rewards for putting it out there. And they get more interaction from it, quite frankly, So like, you're going to have more audiences responding to something versus like a good old rescue story or somebody actually saving someone or helping somebody out. It doesn't always translate, in that respect. So, it's harder actually to seek out. Literally a conversation I was having as recently as like today was that you literally have to kind of like go out your way to actually find positive stories. Like they're just not as readily available, I guess is what I would say. In my case, though, I've definitely seen a lot of great things happening, okay? Like, I've actually been to so many events this past month that I also went to. So in the midst of everything that I said, still been trying to make sure that I find the good in that, the light in things. There are some folks that can see me. I know some people are listening, but I'm even surrounded by just great, artwork and things. I'm actually right next to a beautiful painting by Lacey. She probably tired of me shouting her out at this point, but she has this great work. But I got to see her art actually live, y'all. It was like being performed. She was actually, had a whole production, and it was co-directed by a person that actually used to be a teacher at the school that I work at. So at Cleveland High School for Digital Arts, we had a great film teacher who is now like program director, I believe, director of programs and partnerships and all those things, but also who just is now being able to do more with his plays and things that he does, or actually productions, my bad, I don't want to just say plays, but just in general, you know what I mean? Is able to get actors together, put all these different productions together. It's amazing. And so like he's able to do that. They partner together, Mr. Woody, sorry. Hello, Jimmy Woody. And so shout out to him. But it was just great to see that like collaboration, y'all, and be able to see them bring art to life. My babies were like all over it, y'all. Like it was so good. It was such a good way to see. I love seeing the art come alive. But what I also wanted them to walk away with was this is such a cool career that you can get into, right? Like, again, anytime that we can see art on a bigger platform, and anytime that we can see art as something profitable and something lucrative and something that we could get into is amazing. And I think y'all know I'm a fan of healing. Hello? So like anytime we can have something that is therapeutic, that helps restores us, that helps us feel better, we can't get enough of that. So I was loving that they were able to see that. And recently I had the joke from one of my daughters that was like, I think somebody was saying something, or no, I think my brother was talking to her about therapy because I'm a therapist now, and you know what I mean? It's what I like to do. And it's something I love, you know what I mean? It's a strength. I think it's a strength of mine, you know, and I do feel like I like strive to connect with others and all of that. But I remember him telling I remember her telling him, yeah, that's definitely not for me. Like whatever I'm going to do in life, it will not be therapy. If anything, I might go to therapy, but therapist is not what I want to do. And so I'm glad, right, that she knows what she for sure can do and what she definitely cannot, and like what's within her capacity and what isn't. But she is definitely an artist through and through. And I love that she has fallen back in love with art recently. And like anybody that has abandoned something and come back to it, yo, welcome home. You know what I mean? Love that for you. I think that we definitely can't do it enough, and we need to always like embrace that more, but also just like I said, embrace those authentic part of ourselves. Like it's the best thing we can do. Like we gotta live definitely within our capacities, you know, and hopefully push past that, right? Like continue to enhance ourselves, but honor it. You know what I'm saying? Like why do we need to be anything more than who we are? Like we should be able to show up how we are at all times, and you know, let that speak for itself. And so being able to see that was definitely incredible. And also, it was just a great, you know, they're also putting out a lot of great things because it is also February, y'all. And so, you know, as always, I want to be able to shout out like what's happening currently. And y'all already know I am more than happy to say that it is a Black History Month, Blackity Black History Month. And let's just be clear that not only is that something that I, you know, love, you know what I'm saying, and be able to say, but also just that we need to be able to celebrate it, you know what I'm saying, all days of the year. We just get to do it louder this month at this time of the year. And I think it's something great that we're always doing. I love seeing all the events that are happening, the open mics, shout out to Alana Bell, you know, and so like all these different things that I'm seeing, because I feel like, of course, we can't have enough of it. And we just, like History Month just gives people the opportunity to, again, like have a reason, just another, like a great reason for you to understand why it's at the forefront. So a lot of people you see that pop out during Black History Month, they're doing work all year. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a new thing that they're doing. Like in my case, I feel like this is a conversation that, you know, we're constantly having. However, it's just we're able, you know, the other world can tap in more, right? And they can listen to it more during this time, but it's not necessarily a new topic. I actually also got the pleasure of being on, I've actually been out here too. So like, not only have I been going to different events, you know what I'm saying, taking the babies, we've been doing things. We also went to Disney on Ice, y'all. It was so good. So I'm trying to tell y'all, like, I don't know how y'all year been going, but listen, I'm trying to be outside. I'm not trying to let that weight take over because it can. And I am trying to do whatever, literally, to arm myself, protect myself and my babies. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do whatever we got to do to stay good, stay up, and stay encouraged. And so, you know, we've been doing different events and doing things, but I have had the pleasure of being able to be a part of some interesting projects. So I also love that, like, y'all, Cleveland, like, our pulse or what would I say, our energy right now is just electric. Like, I just feel like there's just so much that's happening. Like, there's a lot of people that are collaborating. There's a lot of great projects that are springing up because of it. And, like, there was 3 events that were really cool that I got to be a part of. So I want to shout out, first is Destination Cleveland. So I actually got to be on this panel. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. It was not a panel. It was a focus group. And so also shout out to the Young Latino Network. I didn't know about this opportunity if it wouldn't have been for them. And so they let me know about this focus group that was happening. And so this one specifically was for Latinos, though. They had one for Asians. I think they had one for members of the LGBT community. They had one for Black people, or apparently African Americans is how they worded it. But whatever, they had it. And so what I loved is we were able to talk about our love for Cleveland, but also just like, what can we do to really get other people to see that? You know what I'm saying? And like, how can we convince others that this is a great place? So as a reminder, that is where I'm coming to y'all from. So, hey, if you're not from Cleveland, like, hey, it's an interesting place. Maybe you should check it out. But yes, Cleveland, Ohio is absolutely where this girl was born and raised. And so we were able to talk about that. We were able to talk about our love for it. But it was fascinating because we all agree that the culture is live, y'all. It is great. It is out here. It is springing up our art as well. So like arts and culture, together. That is both like springing up. It is popping right now. There's so many things about it. You really can't really go anywhere and not see it. That's what I love. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, this studio that I'm in is, every time I come, I love that it's also never looks the same. They're always like changing out the art, showcasing new artists, showing new, putting on new productions. It's just always like activity that is happening. Our city is like that. So there are always new murals that are being made. There's different artwork that's being shown. This week that I'm also creating this episode, our city is actually going to be showcasing artists. Like they find it that important that they're actually going to be putting on an artist show. And so different artists from across the city are going to be able to come out and showcase their art. And we're all going to get a chance to see it. Come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know that there's people that have arts districts and things like that, but it really feels like it's the city thing, that it's not just in a pocket of it. It's not just in a certain area, that it's really just who we are, what we do, and what we love. And so I was really glad that we got to do that. But it was funny because it doesn't mean that we're not still without our own stigma. And so even though we were all able to say how much we do love those things and how much we can come together and how much, what we love being here and why we stay here, there are a lot of people that even if they come here and even if they get a chance to experience it, they still can't get over where it's located. And so like the fact that Cleveland is still in Ohio, it's like, I can go as far as saying that I like it, I would visit it and I'll be there. But if you could move it somewhere else to a different state, then maybe I would actually live there. But for some people, that's where the resistance come in. Of course, hey, I don't have those things. Now, mind you, I'm biased because born here is it's all I've ever known, and it's been very good to me. But I get that, right? Like sometimes we can't separate, how we feel about certain things and like certain topics. And it's like, it's very difficult for that to occur. And I feel like we're seeing that play out very much in our country also, right? Is that the opinions that we hold and that we own are they're very strong. They're very much ours. And it's very hard to separate them from what's happening. We're seeing a lot of people that are being very vocal about these things because they matter, to them. And I feel like you're hearing it, you're seeing it. And I think I think humanity sometimes is getting lost in the midst of it, and it's starting to become about certain topics that I feel like that is starting to take a back seat. And that's where I sometimes have issue, is that I definitely wish our world looked more like that. Our country especially looked more like that, where we were coming together more. But I know it just doesn't happen. And knowing that I'm talking to people that are listening from other spaces, I definitely want to add my voice to everything that's going on and say that it's sad to see that. If y'all I actually seen, like, especially on TikTok, that was like a lot of people were saying, man, no, like our hearts really do go out. Like, you know what I mean? Like some people were just saying, listen, if you're hearing this, like, please know that we're going through a lot right now. I don't know how y'all seeing us, but it's real, right? It's real out here. And a lot of people were saying like, no, some of us think that it's, interesting what's happening to y'all, but a lot of us think that it's just the doing of people that, like either people didn't really necessarily understand what was going to happen with this, that we're just returning to old norms that we should have abandoned a long time ago. But some people are like, no, but I actually feel bad like that these things are happening. It's not like I'm making a mockery at all. No, I just feel like my heart definitely goes out. It's just difficult when people ask. It feels like that's what it is, though. So like, I think it's been interesting to say that, we are here because like this is our fault, or like that this is what we get to deal with now. I'm one that doesn't like to adopt that ideology as well, because I wasn't someone, right, that wanted these things to happen. So like, is it fair to me to say that now I gotta suffer because of what other decisions people made? But those same things happen to people in life, right? Like sometimes we are placed in situations that are outside of our control, but then we're still blamed for it occurring. And it's like, how's that fair? How is that fair to people to have that blame imposed on them when they had nothing to do with the circumstances that took place, So I would never be one to say that. I do think, however, what you do have control over is how you are showing up, knowing that, how the reality is, how are you reacting to it, and the kind of environment that you want to surround yourself by, and so, or like be in or operate in. And so I definitely would say that for me, that's why I've been making it a very intentional effort to be around beauty. So I'm gonna be honest with you, and during Black History Month, you get to see a lot of that, what I'm saying, even more, even on display. I just wanna be surrounded by more good, what I'm saying? Like just people that care about people, that wanna see people progress, what I'm saying? And I just wanna be around more light, because it's dark. Like I even made a post that made one of my friends feel like I was in a depression, because I was like, man, in the midst of the darkness, there was some light in January. And then I shared some photos. I didn't mean that I feel dark. I did not mean that whatsoever. She was like, oh, I hope you don't think that you're dark, or that, because you are definitely a light. I was like, oh, no, boo-boo. Quite the opposite. What I was saying was, in the world right now, there is a lot of darkness, and I refuse to participate. In the world right now, there's a lot going on, and I'm gonna still shine even brighter in the midst of it. In the world right now, we see a lot of divisiveness and a lot of people trying to put wedges between people, and there's a lot of separation. I'm gonna continue to be a connector, what I'm saying? And I'm gonna continue to build community. And I see actually that we need it now more than ever, y'all. So for those of you who are tapped in, who when you hear these episodes, you feel encouraged, great. Because that's exactly why I made it. What I'm saying? For those who are feeling like it's giving them inspiration, what I'm saying? Like now you want to do something or it's doing something. Again, purpose is served. And I actually feel like I know ever since I made the podcast that it was, that I was deciding to really tackle some topics that are not the popular topics, but that really affect people. And I knew that wasn't always gonna rub people the right way. Like some people were gonna see that and love it, right? And really rock with it. And for other people, they were gonna find it uncomfortable. Did it anyway, though. Did it anyway, because I definitely wanted to stay true to, who I wanted to reach, who I wanted to impact, and what message I wanted to come across. And so I can't be prouder that is still happening. And, this is technically my New Year episode, because I didn't get a chance to tell y'all Happy New Year and all those things, because we had our Unwrapping Lessons series, which was great, by the way, y'all. We had a mixture of people that came in. Sarah killed it with her incredible energy. When we had an incredible survivor as Sally. And then we rounded it off with the oldest of her family, Miss Rosa. She was talking about navigating all the things that she's done, how her man is her best friend. Like it was just, you got a mixture of everything, y'all. So go back if you need some encouragement, if you want to learn about it. And yeah, get a mixture of it all. But they really also put exactly what I want Santana says for, especially Sally. Like she really showed like everything I ever wanted was to be able to showcase survivor stories, to really let it be known that there is so many ways that you can empower others, and so many ways that you can use a traumatic situation as something empowering for someone else, for yourself and for other people around you. And I just love that. Man, she gave me that incredible opportunity to do that. And it was such a great way to make sure that came across. Like she did that effortlessly and beautifully. And I plan to bring her back because of that. Need her to, continue to do that, continue to inspire, and really like show how vulnerability can absolutely lead to freedom. Yo, she showed that in such an amazing way. And I love that she said that it definitely, her story especially resonated with a lot of people. Like it really touched people and it encouraged them, because some of them do find themselves in unhealthy relationships. And again, that's exactly what we made it for, right? I think that knowing that, again, our city was able to create that and that could take place is something that I can't put a price tag on. And I'm just so grateful that was able to occur. And so that was definitely one. That was one of the great events that was able to happen, and that's some of the discoveries that I feel like have already been happening here in 2025 that have been occurring. So I loved it. I also was able to be on a music video. Well, kind of. Let's not think that I was a video vixen. Let me be clear on what I got to do. I actually got to play myself. It's what it felt like. I was actually Doctora Martinez, y'all. But what it really meant was I was a therapist. And so I thought it was hilarious because the people that approached me for the opportunity know me from the podcast. They didn't happen to know that I was a full licensed therapist. So they were like, oh, that's funny. So you go play yourself. And I was like, yep, pretty much. For some people, it was their first introduction to Spanish. They didn't realize that your girl is fully bilingual. Yo sé español. Yo puedo hablar en español. Yo lo entiendo muy bien. And así que si hay personas que están escuchando que hablan español, quiero que sepan que pueden hablar conmigo. So basically what I just said is that I speak Spanish, live it, breathe it. It's what I know. And if you're somebody that's listening that, Spanish is your first language, that doesn't mean you can't connect, because I got you. But I was able to like showcase that, like a little side, and like we were able to talk about relationships. So, I was all over this. I'm like, yo, this is literally what I do. Like, put me on. So it was really great to be able to do that and kind of like show up in a different space. Like, how fun was that? So I'm excited that, more people are getting to know like what it is that I do, but then they're finding ways to incorporate that in what they do. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a musician. So like they had this dope song about like how relationships are and how it shows up, how they, affect us. And I was able to be on there. You know what I'm saying? I had my little 2 cents. It was about like, I was the person that had to tell 5 top reasons why relationships don't always work out, but especially in the Latino community. And so I think it was great, right? To be able to know that there were, we were able to combine that, the music and the awareness, and be able to do it, and that I could like add my little 2 cents, you know what I mean? And know that I could add to that conversation. It was just dope, you know what I mean? To now, and to know that I get to be in different mediums, y'all. Y'all might eventually see me in different places. Your girl is growing, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all are doing the same, because I told y'all this is a journey that we get to do together, and so I love it. But also the people that I got to meet who did it, so shout out to Angel Rodriguez, and also like all the other ones that were involved. Like there was a lot. Oh, and of course, Blazing El Único and then Anix, because those are the 2 artists. It was just dope. Their energy was amazing. I was happy to meet them, but also to have the great warmth that they showed me, y'all. They showed the show so much love. They got to let me promote it, like talk about it. That kind of support is just unmatched. And like I said, in the midst of everything that's happening, y'all need that, y'all. We need that. We need to encourage each other and do it. And what it reminds me of is I have my little mental health support group. It's my little thing. Y'all go meet another member from that group, because I'm gonna make sure that they come out during Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm gonna have them come on for sure. But like, y'all, our meeting, so good. Like, it was so good. Like, I'm so proud because we let it be known, you know what I'm saying, that it's hard right now, like, right? Like, things are difficult, trying to figure it out. There's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know how things are going. But the level of encouragement that people showed during that moment, not only did it show how much we need these spaces, but how much we need each other, and it was just great to see us come together, talk about that. The group is wonderful. I don't have an official name. I think Health is Wealth. I'm not really sure. I keep stumbling upon different names. I might just think about a few names and have them decide. But right now, it's a support group that I have, and it's just awesome. I want to replicate it for sure, you know what I mean, and create it, bring it to a space near you. Let me know if you're interested in that. But yes, it was just an incredible thing to let me know how much community is great. Building support is amazing. And come on now, y'all. If we can continue to encourage and uplift, we need to. We got to. You know what I'm saying? Now more than ever. And so it was great to see that and be a part of that. And it was just another really, really cool event that I was able to be a part of. And then thirdly, the one I want to shout out is that I was also recently on the pull-up experience. And so for those who don't know, if you're not, again, you might be listening locally, it's another podcast that is in Cleveland. It comes, or at least it's recorded in Cleveland. And so it comes out of it. They do have a good number of subscribers on YouTube and other platforms, but they essentially like to put on a lot of movers and shakers in the city, if you will. And so they get to come on. And I was on. So they invited me, and I was able to talk about the show and all the great things that, we do and the awareness that we like to build. But it was interesting because the topic of Afro Latinidad got brought up, and even the co-host was kind of like, hold up, what that mean? Like, what is that? What exactly is that? And there was some resistance. I love that happened because, it's easy to have an easy conversation, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? It's easy to talk about things that we all agree about. But I was like, thrilled actually that occurred and that I could talk about it. And I know we ended up, going well, y'all. So don't worry. This is not a story that ends in something badly. It was good. It was a good opportunity. And we had a good conversation, a real one, because we were uncomfortable, or like we were able to address something uncomfortable, and we were able to talk about something difficult. And I was able to say that I know that for some people, Afro Latinidad is a costume. It's a trendy topic. It's a trend by itself, period, right? Like some people have participated in, maybe because they like the way it sounds, the way, like it looks, what appeal maybe it gives them, or what access maybe it gives them. But there's a lot of convenience that goes in that, and they choose which ways to operate and show up. For me, what I mean by it is I acknowledge my African roots, and I do consider myself Black, and I don't ever have any intention of escaping that or not participating in conversations about that. So during Black History Month, guess who's excited? You know what I'm saying? Guess who's making sure that it's known? And yes, I am Latina. You know, I mean, I'm a Puerto Rican person, and I feel like there are Puerto Ricans who are Black. Hello, you know, like, first of all, like, hi to you, but also please know that you are especially the type of people that need to be having conversations about that. Like, we need to enrich this conversation. We are the ones, right? Because we put a face to this. You know what I'm saying? We help enhance this, you know what I'm saying? And without us joining in this conversation, people will never know that there are Black people out, you know, in different places all across the world, and that Black people deserve to be honored, celebrated, protected, you know, like, so, you know, all those things, like enhance, uplifted, all of it. And so it's like, if we don't join in on it, and as a result, I don't say I'm Afro Latina during Black History Month. As a result, I don't say I'm Afro Latina just when, you know, it's convenient for me to do so. No, it's a part of my identity that I carry all year. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that I'm very proud to say. And I just wish, actually, that I met more that were proud of it, you know? And so, like, and then we could see more of that. I mean, I definitely think during the Grammys it was great. That we got to see a woman, you know what I'm saying? Take her, I believe, Doechii, that was able to, get that Grammy, be one of the third woman overall, first of all. Crazy to even have gotten a Grammy, you know what I'm saying, in her category. But compared with people like Lauryn Hill and Cardi B before her, and also Black women at that. But it's like, we got to keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? We got to see more people that are proud of their identities, their backgrounds, especially Black identities, you know what I mean? And know that, you know, we can have these conversations fully and authentically and proudly, that we are not trying to hide those pieces of ourselves, and that, you know, and all the things that come with it, you know what I mean? The hard parts as well as the easy parts. So it's also not just like, I like to do it because it's an easy thing or take it on for size, but because, no, I also want to be vocal about the causes and things that are happening. Right now, we're hearing a lot of people talk about boycotting organizations because of the, you know, DEI efforts that are being reduced. All I want to be able to make sure that I say too is that that is, in general, because those things are happening, I have been trying to be very intentional about where I place my dollar, just period. You know what I mean? And what efforts I want to rally behind. And I think that, is it sad to see that diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts are being reduced in our country? Sure, absolutely. I definitely am a person that feels like that is one of the most tragic things to do. It's also one of the most wrong things to do. I don't think it's, you know, the direction we should be headed whatsoever. But at the same time, it's letting me know what it does help to do is let me know where I need to go and where not to. So like, when I see companies saying that they don't want to back those efforts up, and when I see other organizations fighting to make sure that they do, then it's an easier way, you know, to discern where I want to invest my time in, you know what I mean, and all those things. And so, like, I know there's a lot of debate about Target right now, you know what I'm saying? Target is under fire, you know what I'm saying? Because some people feel like, you know, we shouldn't necessarily not support, you know, like that we should take our dollars directly from the organization as a whole, that we should still go in there. We should just be intentional about which brands, right, and which companies or brands that we are specifically supporting. Didn't want to say companies because it's like, what operates within there is, you know, certain brands and it's certain entities that are within it. Target itself is the company, but like, and the organization and corporation. But I get that. I just feel like either, you know, I can see that. I see the argument for both sides. What I think more than anything, though, is apart from just Target itself, which at the end of the day is a corporation, so it was always going to be hard to support them. There are other ones, because I mean, corporations sometimes have some good intentions and sometimes they don't always. And so what I have been looking at overall is which ones are the ones that have decided to stay true, who have from the beginning talked about social justice issues and have not stopped, like Ben & Jerry's or, you know what I mean, other ones like that, who don't mind having these tough conversations and are continuing to do it. And if anything, are doing it more now that they see other people scaling back. That is what I love to see and what I love to support. I even had my previous guest, Melvin Jr., who had said that, you know, his job, he had just talked to us about how he's on the Pride Committee, all these things, and he's at a bank. And I was like, you know, what about your bank? I mean, it's okay if they are scaling back, because I can understand that some people are trying to protect themselves, but are they? And he was like, no. They decided that if anything, they might be more strategic, right, about how they are approaching things, but they have no intention. And that I just salute to those people. You know what I'm saying? Respect to you, because I know that you could, right? You could want to scale back. You could make it easier for yourself to not participate and be like, all right, well, I mean, if this is where the country is headed, then I don't want to be a part of it. Or you could choose to actually honor, right? And, really honor the integrity of what you believe in and your values and stay firm to them instead. And for those who are doing it, you have all my support because I think that's the best thing we can do. And it's such a great way to actually honor the people that are here because, we can get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, but we are not, but diversity, equity, we can get rid of those efforts, but diversity, equity, and inclusion is not going to disappear. We still have diversity in our world. You know what I'm saying? We have people that form part of it, which is why it was meant to exist. And so we can't, even if we get rid of the efforts behind it, we are getting rid of it. It is still a concept and that exists for a reason. There are still diverse people in our world, so I don't know if we feel like eliminating one thing is going to get rid of the other. It is not, you know what I'm saying? And diversity is here to stay, as long as we have diverse people, and all these things. And so these conversations are going to keep happening. They're different efforts. They may look different, but they're going to be here. And there's going to be people like myself who are going to continue to make sure that what we have is diverse in nature, that it is inclusive all day, and that it is representative of who I'm trying to appeal. And that's people, in general, who come from different backgrounds and all walks of life, and I have no intention of stopping that. But I'm especially making that clear that, yes, when it comes to especially these intersectional identities, that we know which ones we are trying to, make sure is addressed. And like I said, which ones I also am a part of and which ones that I support. Because I also know that I don't want to ever make it seem like I'm part of ones that I'm not, the ones that I'm not a part of, I make it clear that I'm not. But hey, if I can still support or uplift someone else that's doing the work there, let me do that. But the ones that I am a part of, I want to make sure that they're known and that I'm proud of them. And that includes Black and Puerto Rican. So I just want to make sure that's clear. But I did love it. I do love that we are having more spaces like that. The music video was dope. My mental health group, like I said, shout out to them. They're amazing people. And all the people that are just building community right now, I salute you. I know it isn't easy. I know we're feeling taxed. We're feeling exhausted. We're feeling, drained, right? We're feeling heavy. We're feeling tired. But listen, we got to keep going, y'all. And if, we need to tap into one another and say hey, how can we support? How can we right now I'm feeling like I don't have it. Somebody else, take over for a little bit. Whatever we got to do, right? To help each other out, to keep this stuff going. Let's do it because we need to be here. We deserve to. And we got to keep, uplifting this. And so I'll pull up as well, being able to talk about Afro Latinidad. I was so grateful to be able to have that chance. But they also let me go on about a whole bunch of stuff. So shout out to y'all. I think it was great. Please know that, yes, if you hear this episode, I had a great time. It wasn't just for y'all. I really, or it wasn't just y'all that felt it. I really did. I felt that. I enjoyed it. It was a great experience. And anytime that I get a chance to talk about real topics, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would love to come on anybody else's show, but you got to know that I like to talk about real things. And I just think that, I get the trends. I get the appeal to wanna, talk about certain issues that are of the times, and from time to time I've done that, right, I'll find a way to still incorporate in that. I'm not above it or anything like that. I just mean that it's gotta touch the people in a real way. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't, I don't necessarily want that invitation. And I'm willing to tell you that. I am willing to let you know. But if you give me a chance to show up authentically and really talk about real issues, then you got me. You definitely do, especially in a time like ours where, again, so many things are going on. So many people are being affected. And when we need to come together and really use our platforms and our spaces to uplift one another. So I just, with that, like I said, I salute everybody that's doing that. I am so excited for what's to come, y'all, because we are definitely going to celebrate Black History Month loudly and super proudly. And so we are going to be having a great guest on during this month that's going to, also, in honor of Black History Month, and just because they exude everything that wonderful Black essence, Black beauty, Black talent. I mean, they're just the definition of everything that is just great. You know what I'm saying? In this world, I love them. So but y'all already know I love who I bring on. So I'm super excited. I'm already smiling knowing that they're, even gracing us with their presence. But y'all don't know. So I'll let them introduce themselves when they come. And we will keep doing things. And we're also just gonna, I think we need to continue to lean into also more love. You know what I'm saying? It's also the month of love. And I want to keep finding more ways for us to lead with love. I want to find more ways for us to have conversations that include love, that use love as the inspiration, as the foundation, and as the springboard, for what it is that we're doing. Because too many times we don't lean into love. You can tell when somebody's coming from a place that is not rooted in love. And I just think it's one of the best things that we can root ourselves in. We can stand to support each other more. We can stand to uplift each other more, to see each other more, right? To check in, to really just let other people know, where they're seen, where they're heard, and, where we can show up for them, and just that we care about them. I would love to see more people, be able to share that, because right now that's what a lot of people are not feeling. We're not feeling cared for. We're not feeling seen, and we're feeling abandoned by what is happening. And we're feeling like the best thing for us to do is to leave, not be a part, escape, all of that. So obviously we need to hear from more people that don't feel that way, that do care about humanity and others, and want to do that with love at the forefront of that. You know what I'm saying? Who legit love people. I used to think it was weird, right? To be able to say, I love you. Unless I really, you know what I mean? Or do I really actually feel that? Are you somebody that's actually earned that? That's weird. What, you're just going to throw love out there like it's something meaningless? Absolutely not. But there are a lot of people in my life that I love that I'm not in a relationship with them. You know what I mean? I didn't raise them. They're not my kids. But I legit feel that emotion because, man, I just care about them. You know what I mean? I want to see them do well. I want to be part of their evolution. I want to be part of their enhancement, of their development, and of them, I want to be part of the part where they fall in love with themselves. I love seeing that. And so anytime that I can be a part of that, I want to do that. I'm so grateful for every chance I've already had to experience that or be a part of that. And it's just something I want to continue. And so, yes, y'all, we should give out love like what it is, free. It's free and it's a gift. And it's something that I feel like we should share, not just during Valentine's Day, right? But also throughout the year. Should we have Black conversations only during Black History Month? Absolutely not. All day, all throughout the year. And so we should be able to do these things all the time. But hey, if we get a chance to do it a little bit louder, let's do it. So please know that I love y'all and that I appreciate y'all truly from the depths of my soul, from the bottom of my heart. And, whenever you get to the end of the episode, y'all got to understand the gratitude that I have, because that means that you are rocking with me. You got something from me. You know what I mean? You ain't turned me off. And so there must be something that is touching you. And so whatever that is, I want to know, reach out to me, let me know about it. Let's talk about it and let's grow it, because I love planting seeds and I love giving out seeds. And hey, if we could cultivate that together and grow it, this is my garden. And I want to share that with you. And so if you ever want to connect, just remember that I am on Instagram, TikTok. I'm on most. There's a fan page on Facebook where you can Santana Says. If you want to find the podcast, it's easy. Of course, if you're already listening, Santana Says Podcast in all different places. But if you want to email me, it is santanasayspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to follow me, on Instagram or TikTok, it is Santana Says with 1_. No spaces, none of that, but just Santana Says with an _ at the end. So please choose whatever platform of choice that you want, but please make sure that you reach out. Please make sure that you connect and, let me know, like I said, what touched you, what you want to learn about, or anything that you want to discuss. But thank you as always, and let's keep staying uplifted, y'all. Let's do what we can and let's spread this love. Thank you.